Call the Borough Council work session to order for February 3rd, 2026. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Kaufman.
Here.
Councilperson Singh.
Here.
Councilperson Murphy.
Here.
Councilperson Ziegler.
Here.
Councilperson Levy.
Here.
Councilperson Cooper.
Here.
Councilperson Myers.
Here.
Mayor Lunt.
Here.
Is there anybody like to deliver an invocation? If not, please rise for a moment of silence.
Please remember the chief's father, Jack Roberts, Sr. in prayer.
Councilman Murphy, would you lead us in pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Announcement of executive sessions, January 27th, 2026. During the meeting, we had an executive session to discuss borough manager contract. January 27th, 2026, after the meeting to discuss a legal brief. Additions, deletions, and reorganizations of the agenda. So, just so everybody's aware, I changed the agenda around for the workshop. I tried to include all the committees or all the leaders on the committees to the workshop. I invited the managers and the chairs of the committees to the workshop, so we can have a open discussion on any topic that we think is necessary. Any changes to the agenda anybody like to change? All right. Citizen comments.
I'll move that we approve the agenda as published.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor by Councilman Zink, second by Councilman Murphy to approve the agenda as published. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Citizen comments. Ron Jaco. Don, I'm sorry.
Comment about the workshop there?
Yes, you can talk about anything.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about the Spark School in the morning. The
Okay.
Tuesday before that snowstorm, I got caught up in that traffic, a little past CBS. I was coming down Locust Street. You know, everybody's taking their turns. The poor guard there, she's jumping from one corner to the other corner, letting kids go on, and these people are going zoom, 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 zoom. When I get up to the stop sign,
Sorry.
the traffic's jacked the whole way to the red light, whole way over to Walnut Street, and the whole way to 7th Street. So, but when I get up there, here comes a truck on my side of the road from the red light, from the whole way up. So I sat there and wait. She comes up and goes, "What am I supposed to do?" Well, the first thing you don't do is get on my side of the road. That's an illegal pass. She passed like 7, 8, maybe 10 cars coming up through there. And I think sooner or later somebody's going to get hurt there. Because it's a shit show. It's just crazy.
It is. I know what you're talking about as far as the cars
I
lining
mean,
up.
I try to avoid it, but I didn't know they were going to school at 10:30
Right,
that
right.
Tuesday. So when I come down there, I went, that was too late. I was already in it. I couldn't
Right.
go anywhere there. But that's the first thing. The second thing is I got a driveway beside my house. I live at 847 Blunston Street.
Yes.
And back in the day, I had a sycamore tree there. And the guy that was the head of the borough down here, somebody was beside me renting it. He was, inspector came in to check the apartment before somebody could rent it. And he was in my driveway. And I went over and told him, "You're in my driveway." I mean, the ASM was in there. So when you back in, it's tight. you just don't go a 90-degree angle and go right in. You gotta come in on the side, but, so I went and told him to move his vehicle. Well, then he came down here and bitched because my sidewalk was lifted up in the sycamore tree. And the borough guy told me I got 10 days to take that tree down and fix that cement. So we got a driveway put in. I had the borough come up and he said it was okay. So, $10,000 later, I got a driveway. I got a sign that says no parking driveway. And every day, somebody pulls in. If they don't go up on the cement, I don't come out the door. But when they pull up on that cement, that's like driving on the sidewalk.
Right.
I mean, he says there's nothing against driving on the sidewalk. Well, I think it is.
I said, that's against the law.
Oh, did you? Oh, all right. So Saturday, about 3:05, I look out the door and there's a van parked this close in front of my truck. There's only room for one vehicle beside my house. And I'm right up. I mean, I can come back another 2 or 3 feet, but I had the truck up against the front of the house and the van pulled in. I went out and the lady's out of the car with a kid. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I'm making a delivery. Well, she lied to me. She wasn't making a delivery. She was dropping a kid off next door. I said, you're in my driveway. Get out. She goes, I'm going in and go to the bathroom. But that didn't make sense. Somebody delivered something. You're going to go to the bathroom. So me and my brother were talking. So I called the cops. I called down here and it went through the dispatch somewhere else. Some lady got on. I said, I got somebody in my driveway. And she told me to go myself and doing this. So I talked to this lady and she goes, I got somebody on the way from Columbia. I said, all right. So I hung up. She came out. She going, give me the finger. She backs out. My phone goes off. An officer down here called. His name's Ember. He said, what's going on? I said, well, I just had a lady in my driveway and I told her to leave and she told me to do everything except pound sand. He goes, is it a public walkway? I said, yeah, it's public to walk on, but you can't drive on because of my driveway. He goes, I know where you're at. And he goes, no, that's public property. He said, more or less anybody can pull up there. And I said, my understanding is it's a driveway to me and it's a sidewalk to the rest of the world. Because, you got to have an indent when you get that, and you got to get the curb done.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Is it painted yellow?
on both sides of it is. The driveway itself is, there's a sign that says no parking.
Right.
Driveway.
And that's proper, Jake.
Yeah, he knows where it is.
I think-
I mean, they
That's
just
what mine
put
is.
lines for the handicap next door. I let them come to my property, so
Right.
we didn't have like a 5-foot gap there, so get more space on that street. But then, when I called down there and he told me he's not coming up, I'm thinking, why am I even calling the police if I can't even get him to come up to my house? He said, you're wrong. They can, that's public property. I said, it's not public property. I said, are you paying my school tax and my taxes up there? He said, oh, no. I said, don't tell me it's public property. I paid to get that driveway done.
Right.
So 50 minutes later, a guy from Walmart backed in. Now he's up against my truck trying to get this card out to deliver next door. I get along with the neighbor next door because she's a renter and she's been there for the last 12 years. We get along. But I didn't give her permission to let this guy from Walmart. I just 50 minutes earlier, I called down here about this girl next door. And then 50 minutes later, this guy does it. And now I'm mad at her. And I don't want to be, but she told him to go ahead and back in there because it's the only open spot because of the snow. It's just like these waste people don't want to go climb the snowbank. These people, they want to make it as easy as possible. And my driveway on my street goes, pull in here. When you go down there, you go, look, pull in here. Then at night, an hour and a half ago, got a delivery downstairs. Guy double parked out in front of my driveway, but facing the other way. He came out, got his car, pulled in, up on the sidewalk. I came out when I guess. He goes, I'm sorry. I said, sorry about what? You know you're wrong. I said, go around the block. This isn't a turnaround for you. Nope, that's all I got to say. I hope somebody does something about Park School, and this got to stop my driveway.
I will talk to Officer Ren.
I think he has a misunderstanding.
Yeah, he said he knows where I'm at, but he goes, that's public property. Because I'm not coming up there for that.
You're correct. And I'll talk to him.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Keith McMahon?
Good evening. My name's Keith McMinn. I'm the Senior Director at Penn State Health Lifeline. Came to the meeting tonight to introduce myself. I'm a new face. I did have the opportunity to meet several of you at one of the public safety meetings back in the fall. Wanted to give a end-of-year EMS report.
Can you wait till,
I can.
It's on there.
public safety?
I can. I wasn't sure
Yes,
whether to make the comments now or later. That's fine.
that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to give comments? Frank?
Good evening, you all. I wanted to do this before. I wanted to thank council for the new agenda that she's put together. I think it was very positive. I wanted to wait a couple of meetings just to see how it worked out, but just my opinion, I was pretty happy with it. Couple items here. The assistant to Jack,
Yes.
does he get sworn in?
No.
Is-
Assistant to, as borough manager?
Yes.
No.
Is he on the payroll?
Yes.
Will we ever find out anything about him? Where he's from, how we got him, blah, blah, blah.
That was
We talked
discussed
about
when
that some
we,
time ago.
Too many people talk
Yeah.
at one time.
that was discussed when we hired him. Back when we hired Ron. We hired both of them at the same time.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know it was for both. I knew about, we talked about Ron pretty
Ron,
good, not
yeah.
about the other one. Okay, and who is doing the finance work of the finance manager, being that we don't have one?
We pay Browns.
Okay, are they on top of it?
Yes.
I know, I went through that leaflet there. It takes a genius to do that thing. Holy heck.
Yeah, they're both fixing, correcting, or whatever you want to say, and doing the day-to-day. And
Yeah.
then we have Lori Griffin. She also does
Yeah,
does the data entry.
I see a lot there with her name on it. At the end of the last meeting that we had, I was wishing the solicitor to be here, but he had stated that he got the okay to the borough for the crossing down at the sewer plant. And his last thing, he said, and the borough will be going to settlement. Can somebody give me,
Yes. So in this property, and the firehouse property, we are going to make the transaction to the CDEC, and they are going to sell it. So we'll be out of the sale agreement.
I thought we did that.
We did, but that contract ran out, so we have to redo another contract.
Okay. And did I hear somewhere there is a new contract for the firehouse? The one that they ran out,
The contract you're talking, no, the contract you're talking about is the contract between
the
the
borough?
borough and EDC,
Okay,
CEDC.
okay. And what do we know on the rental, the sublease that the sewer plant did? Did we okay that? If we didn't, why didn't we okay that?
We had the sewer plant leases cover all the expenses for utilities and everything else. We did not go after them for the sublease because we're this close to settling. We finally got to that point and we just didn't go there.
So you're going to settle with the CDC, then they're going to put it up for sale?
Yes,
So there'll be no rent paid in the meantime?
yes, they'll pay rent in the meantime.
It's gonna be a chain of settlements. It's only gonna be owned by the CEDC for hours.
It's the settlement time, when they go to settle.
Because we're gonna sell it to them and then it's immediately gonna be turned around and sold to the final buyer.
And then CDC will be in charge of it. The borough will
No.
be out of it until it gets sold.
No,
No, they're hours, literally hours.
So they have someone to buy it.
Yes. The person that's renting it now.
Oh,
hold on a second. Which property are you talking about?
okay, the sewer plant.
Yes,
Yes.
the current occupiers are gonna buy it.
Okay, and am I right that this is two parcel? The highway shed is not connected with that sale,
They're separate parcels. They have intention of buying both parcels.
but they're only buying the sewer plant?
For now, yes.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I finally got that. Maybe you explained it in the right way. The last thing I got, the word on the street, I'm going back to when you did the reorganizational meeting, that council was looking at replacing the attorney, the law firm. So you didn't do that. And somehow or another, I missed it bringing it up. But what changed your mind that you didn't change the law firm?
The borough manager requested that we hold off on that right now till we get everything organized. There's a lot of things happening with the transitions,
And
and he doesn't want to bring somebody new in, or he just wants to keep it as it is right now until we get everything under our feet.
you
Okay.
don't have to do that right at the beginning of the year. Like,
No.
you can do that
No.
at any time.
It's usually a good time to at least bring it up, say you're looking for and I didn't hear none of that. I really forgot to bring it up then.
No, that's fine.
Okay, now we got two other properties. We got them straightened out on one. Now the firehouse, where are we at with that?
The exact same process is going to happen. We're going to turn it over. We're going to agree on a contract with the EDC to sell it. And I believe it's 60 days, but I'm not 100% sure on the contract time. And then if they can't sell it within that time frame, then we'll put it up for auction as we agreed to in the past. I'm assuming the vote stays.
And the last one is Ridge Avenue.
Ridge Avenue has been put on hold for right now. We plan to do the roadway, the fencing, and then sell the back lot. But the rehab and construction of the Public Works building was put on hold right now until we receive some of our grant money.
I guess I'm more interested in the parcel in the back because it's a property that could be generating tax revenue.
Right, and
And
we're gonna, as
I
soon as,
listened to the attorney and you got to get a hold of the auctioneer and come on,
our biggest hangup right now is the weather. We have an LSA grant that we can use to put the street in, put fencing up and everything else. So,
Well, and honestly, Frank, we got word from the auctioneer that is probably not our best option to sell it because of what that kind of property is going for. We're not going to get what we want in an auction. And he suggested, and so Evan's been investigating things. We may do better at a sealed bid.
The assessed value of the piece that you're going to sell is public knowledge.
no,
The assessed value, not the other value.
Yeah, the
Oh,
tax
yes,
assessment.
yes, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I keep asking that and nobody will tell me that. Why?
We'll get you that information. There's no reason why you don't know that.
What's that?
The assessed value.
yeah.
You can get that online.
You can get that online. It's on.
I
like, the
don't
Lancaster
think
Tax Collection Bureau.
because of the way that property, where you bought that property, somebody had went on for me and something happened. I
We
don't know.
split it.
You
Oh,
tried.
yeah, we
We
subdivided it.
subdivided it.
So
And the subdivision probably wasn't reassessed.
Yeah,
we'll get you that
There's
information.
something similar. I just wanted the ballpark.
It's gonna be a ballpark. It may be a percentage of the total.
Yep.
Property. Is that everything? Is there anyone else who would like to give public comment? All right. Mayor Lutz.
I had a few calls, obviously, and I think Jake, you probably got calls from the same people about the snowstorm and what PennDOT did to the residents along 462 or Lancaster Avenue. They went through there and rolled snow up on those sidewalks. I shouldn't say snow. They rolled ice chunks up on those sidewalks. And it was very difficult for people, and some people still haven't dug out of there. We contacted PennDOT. PennDOT's answer was, it's the homeowner's responsibility, that sidewalk, which is right. I got a hold of Representative Miller about it, and basically PennDOT kind of told him the same thing, kind of stuff. The issue is, if they would slow down their plow truck, they wouldn't roll it up on that sidewalk quite as bad, you know? So we're gonna stick with PennDOT and see if we can't get them to slow down when they're going through those areas. They did a pretty good job on Kinderhook this year. There were years when they rolled snow up on the sidewalk there, and we had a heck of a time getting the snow off the sidewalk for the kids to go to school.
Right.
You know, and I'm not so worried about my driveway, but was worried about them rolling that snow. And it's really snow and ice, and it's very difficult. The dear old lady that called me, she was an elderly lady, and thank God she got some kind of group. I think they're out in Lancaster, Snow Angels or something like that. And they come out and dug her out. And congratulate, thank you to them for doing that for that lady. But we're gonna stick with it. Will we get anywhere? I don't know. I took notice this morning. I went over to Wrightsville, and they ran a snow blower on the walk so people could go across the bridge. Then they came back and plowed and threw the snow right back over what they ran the snow blower. So there was a gentleman walking on the cartway to get over to Wrightsville today. That's terrible. So I'm gonna stick with Representative Miller. If I have to, Heather, if I have to go to an MPO meeting or a TTAC meeting, you may see me there to talk about that with the PennDOT folks. But there's no need to have that happen.
Monday's planning commission.
Monday is planning.
Jake.
Yeah, I thought it was Wednesday. Yeah, Monday.
Nope, Monday's, second Monday.
Is there a reasonable plow speed that's probably optimal, most functional? And maybe we can give a recommendation to go, at least in towns, to run at that speed?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in those circumstances, I mean, we have plenty of areas that I go fight and some of the goals that you gotta slow down, because that stuff just rolls.
Right.
And there's areas out there where we weren't able to get it back, because if we tried to go much smaller, then you're rolling a foot of snow, whatever, on the sidewalk. So, sometimes you might cruise to their 5 mile an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
That might be asking a lot to ask PennDOT to slow down that slow.
But, and we talked about, I was asked, well, can't you guys get a skid loader out there or something to clean the sidewalks off for us? No, right? It's because it's private property, and if we were to damage those sidewalks with that skid loader, then we'd be liable for the damages. Oh, I understand that. Most people, and the people understood that. They understood we just can't go out there and start scraping on people's sidewalks. So we're gonna try to work through it. We'll just stay on them, hope for the best. Hope for no more snow. Maybe that would be the best hope. But it's been a problem for years. I've been in other municipalities, and they have the same problem. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, action items. We have to vote on the borough manager's contract tonight. I hope everybody had an opportunity to look over the contract. We committed to having Jack a contract by January. We fell a little short, but I believe we have one that will work for most people. So, Joanne, if you have anything you want to say about the contract, you're welcome to. If not,
I don't really have anything to say. Everybody got a copy of it. I don't really have anything to add to it.
I didn't hear what you said.
she said everybody has a copy of the contract.
Yes.
All council members.
Yeah.
And everybody read through it.
Yeah, she sent it over the weekend.
I didn't see it included in the packet, so can you give like a couple sentences of just like the major stuff? I think we were talking about we wanted to do that.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get those approved.
What's that?
I don't think we could include it in there because it wasn't approved yet. Once
Right.
it's approved, then,
Yeah, it
then
wasn't.
it becomes.
Okay.
I was on it, in fairness, I was going to supply an executive summary.
Mhm.
But the executive summary basically spells out the contract.
Yeah.
So it did make sense to do that.
But we'll, yeah. Once the contract gets approved, we can,
Publish it.
yeah, we can
Publish.
publish.
It'll be published.
Once it's signed.
Yes,
Can we approve that today?
we have to.
Yes, we need to.
We have to make-
I'll make a motion to approve the borough manager contract.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion on the floor to approve the borough manager contract. I'll get to you. I'm just reading it off. No. I have a motion on the floor to approve the contract for borough manager by Councilwoman Geezy, second by Councilman Myers. Myers, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't gonna say
Rhyme.
anything.
It
Should've.
rhymes.
It does. Is there any other council comments?
I would just for the sake of the public and everything, I'll give a few of the highlights.
I appreciate it.
Basically, Jack will be, it's the same agreement that we made back in September. He's paid $2,000 per month while he is acting, in addition to his regular salary when he is acting as chief of police and borough manager. We have him beginning as full-time borough manager on May 1st, 2026. Duties and responsibilities is pretty much everything. The manager is the chief administrative officer of the borough and shall be responsible for proper and efficient administration of borough affairs, subject to policies adopted by council. Jack will be devoting full-time working time and attention to the duties of, working as the borough manager. He will be, the starting salary in May will be 100, like we do for everything else. The manager, the benefits, he will be receiving the same benefits as all borough employees, the health, dental, vision, life insurance, disability. He'll be maintaining his tenure for purposes of calculating vacation time. No more than 5 days of unused leave may be carried over into the next calendar year in accordance with the borough's existing policy. He will be participating in the borough's non-uniform retirement plan. He does have a significant amount of accrued paid time off, vacation and sick leave. Normally, this would all be paid out at the time of retirement. But given our circumstances, this would be a very large chunk of money. And we have negotiated that it'll be done in the following manner. 1/3 of the existing leave totaling $22,549.90 will be paid the first payroll in May of 2026. 1/3 of the existing leave totaling $22,549.90 will be paid in May 2027. Any unused leave remaining will be paid in May 2028. At most, that would be $22,549.90. If the manager does choose to use a portion of that, of the remaining leave time before the end of, or before May of 2028, that final payment will be reduced by an applicable amount. And any leave remaining at the time of separation, if he would leave before 2028, any of that remaining leave time will be paid consistent with the borough policy. We have also, we have it spelled out that his right for post-retirement health care based on the police collective bargaining agreement will remain at the time that he retires from the borough. Basically, if he retires from the borough borough manager position before he is 65, he can exercise the post-retirement health insurance benefits that would be offered on the police side up until the age of he is eligible for Medicare. Let's see, professional development. We are requiring that within 3 years, he will obtain the CBO designation, meaning that he will have taken enough training through PSAB to get that designation. I think it's 67 credits. The other big one, this is termination of the contract. The borough may terminate the agreement with cause or without cause because, Pennsylvania is an at-will state. If the manager is resigning, he may resign at any time, providing at least 60 days written notice, unless otherwise mutually agreed. If the council decides to terminate the manager without cause, meaning we just have a change of heart and we no longer want him employed, the manager shall be entitled to receive severance pay equal to 3 months with an additional month for each completed year of service after the first year, up to a maximum of 6 months. No other form of separation shall qualify the manager for a payment of severance. And that's it. The rest is just the legalities of, we will pay for his bonding and that kind of stuff. So there we have it.
Anything else from council? Frank?
I'm impressed because I was going to ask most of those questions.
I know, Frank. That's why I'm throwing it out there. I'm not
Yep,
not
that's-
hiding anything.
To make a long story short, I was against the hiring of the police chief for the borough manager's job. I wanted to get an experienced borough manager in here to get things back in order, to run it the way it's supposed to be run. But I guess my question is, why? Why are you giving a contract when none of the other managers have it?
This was something that Jack wanted, considering that it was at the time when it was first pitched for him to be the interim manager back in September, he wanted to have assurance in the future that when he did retire as police chief, that he would have this lined up. So that, and the other aspect was he wanted to make sure that some of those police benefits, like his time and the paid health care before 65, was still maintained if he continued as borough manager after leaving his position as chief. Those were two of the big things that he was looking for. So for him, it was mostly a source of security to have this contract, to know what was coming up. And that's pretty much why we agreed that we wanted to set up a contract with him as well, to give him that sense of security going into this job.
And I should note that this contract will have to be re-ratified every year, every reorganization meeting,
Right.
or it
That's-
expires.
Right.
Yeah,
It will expire, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't have that in here.
Yeah, because that's the way the borough code is written.
So this is a one-year contract
Two,
continuing.
well, 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Uh,
honestly, Frank, this is, I realize that other managers never had one, but you'd be hard pressed to find a borough or township manager in Lancaster County or anywhere in Pennsylvania that doesn't have a contract right now.
Mhm.
That's just the way it is.
You're saying they don't have a
They,
contract?
they
do.
do.
They do.
Everywhere does.
And they're basically, Frank, set up like this one is.
Yeah.
So who did the interviews for the borough managers? Who conducted them
For the managers,
for the borough managers? Yeah.
I don't think we had any applications.
Didn't have anyone apply.
The only reason I asked is did they all demand a contract? If you didn't
The
interview,
last round, yes, they were all asking for a contract.
Yes.
Steve did not. But all of the other applicants did.
yeah, I guess my main thing is you put a guy or put a person, regardless who it is, his name could be Donald Trump. Put somebody in there that's not experienced in that field. And this is what Columbia needs. We needed somebody that knows. We had good borough managers over the years, 2 or 3 of them that I know. But I've learned that through interactions with a councilman or a different councilman, they chase these borough managers away. And it all comes out sooner or later. But for that reason, I just wish we'd had an experienced manager that knows the ropes that was involved in everything.
If we could find one, I would love to have that too. They're just not out there, Frank.
Okay. All right, and a copy of the contract is open to the public.
Was it signed?
What is Sonny?
Thank you.
I haven't signed yet.
Sharon?
With regard to the PTO payout, I just wondered if that was similar to what happened with Rebecca Denlinger and
No.
Jeff Helm. It's different. Okay. Because I knew we lamented about having to pay that and that
Yes,
wasn't
Rebecca
going to
was
happen
paid in a
again.
lump sum.
Yeah.
Jeff Helm was, and I think the same thing happened with Deb LeClaire. They were maintained on payroll for a number of months to spread out that payout.
Okay. So if he were to leave before, like, the final one, would that just happen that way, though? Be paid in a lump sum or?
Yep.
Okay, so I remember us saying that wouldn't be happening again. So it's happening again. I'm just asking how.
Okay,
Trust me, I know.
that's a fair point, Sharon.
I'm just,
I'll explain to you real quick.
Okay.
This is what I've been asking for. We have a policy, an ordinance, or part of our handbook.
Yeah, it is policy.
It's our policy that you can only carry over 5 days per year, and that 5 days have to be used before the end of May.
Okay.
None of our managers followed it. So people were able to build up and build up and build up. So, with that being said,
And plus, the other part of this is, it's different with the police union contract is different than the borough side. So, and Jack's stuff is all of this payout is from the police side.
Okay.
That's why we put in the contract, you cannot carry over more than 5 days from year to year.
Okay, but if they were doing it anyway, how are you stopping that then? If you said they were doing it anyway, carrying more than 5?
we have talked to Jack and made it, and Jack understands. It's
No, I get it that he does, but you said about it happened
No.
before.
I can't do anything about what happened before.
But we've made it very clear that they need to stick to the policy.
Yeah.
5 days can be carried over, that's it. We are in the process of looking at what banks other employees have.
Okay,
And we may
so-
have to do
We
this
are
for other
looking at
employees.
that.
so I'm just saying, if it happened before, who's going to monitor it now?
Yes.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, it's up to the borough manager to monitor it.
Okay,
And if it is built up, then that would be cause for discipline.
okay.
I think
We're gonna watch
moving,
it closely.
I think moving forward, after we stop this and we get the
Mm-hmm.
other managers that have fill up time, we just don't accept it. There is no
Okay.
more carryover, there's no more extended pay and everything
Right.
else.
There's none of that.
There is 5 days.
I don't think it's fair to take money away from somebody they earned. But moving forward, we have to follow the policy.
I would think.
Yes.
Okay.
Follow it.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? I have a motion by Councilwoman Geezy, second by, wait a second, Karen, who was that? I forget.
Myers down there.
Myers.
Don't say Myers.
You said it.
Second by Councilman Byers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Ayes have it. On to the committee reports. Leadership Committees, Finance. We have a report from the Finance Department. Anything you want to go over, Heather? On the financials?
No, there's one report in there. I'm not quite sure what it is. I've never seen it before.
I wrote that.
No, not that report.
Not that
She's
one.
talking financials.
Oh, okay.
I do have a question for you, Heather, and I don't know if you can answer this or not. When we show the aging report, can we specify an age to start showing numbers?
I don't think so.
To see how old it is.
Because to show every stand it's on time, this takes up a lot of space.
Well, no, if you want it to show just the amount due for each person that's on there, it can be printed without detail.
No, but I'm looking at, it shows current,
Mm-hmm.
it shows 0, 30, 0, 30, 60, 90, 180, and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Really, anything over 30 days is what we should be looking at. Anything under 30 days, to me, it's just a waste of paper.
What honestly, it's not, because some of these old things were put in there with not due. They don't have a due date, and so you would not see those if we did not.
Can you show me an example?
Um,
I'm not trying to be smart, I just don't understand.
let's see. Well, it's not old, but the Anya Sweets. See how it says not due?
Right?
Okay, there are some that are really old that say not due, even though they were billed a long time ago, and we would not see those on here.
Okay. I don't see if there's a way we can figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you can get it printed without all of the detail, and then it would just be one long list of the name and how much is owed.
Okay.
And the breakdown, if it's, where it is.
So now I have a financial question for Paula. Just looking at one of these, and I'm going to pick on Elvin Investment LLC. They have 2 fire inspections, 2 rental inspections. They are $425 past due, 180 days. Do their properties have rental license?
I would have to do the research.
Could you, I mean, not right this minute, but could you please find that out?
Mhm.
They should not be receiving license if they're not paid in full.
And they're from 2024.
Yeah, so that, they may be gone. I don't know. I mean, that might be sold. I don't even know about that anymore. I didn't see that 24 date. But I just want to make sure that we're on inspections, that we're not issuing licensing until it's paid.
But even with that, if it was sold and they're gone, you should be going after them.
I don't disagree. I'm just talking about the license itself. The license we have leverage with. Anybody else have any questions on the finance reports that we received so far?
It does.
That's kind of odd, that's kind of odd. They shouldn't be able to sell the property if there's any encumbrances against it.
Well, if it's showing past due, there's probably not a lien on it.
Yeah, that'd be if there was a lien, it would show up on a thing,
It
but,
would cost us enough
To get it.
to put the lien on.
right,
For the 400 hours that isn't working.
right.
So we're stuck.
Mhm.
Right.
We need to think about that a little bit.
And there may come up, well, that's why you hold the license as leverage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we may need to come up with a write-off system for some of this stuff, because if we can't collect it, it's not worth collecting.
Well, that's,
We did that some time ago.
We just did it.
well, that's what
Remember,
Brian,
Kelly?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. It's been
Brian
at least
just
2 or
did it
3
when he
times.
was
I
here.
remember with years.
You did.
It was-
Brian was proposing stuff to be written off, and I don't know that it was, because we were saying we want to still know if they owed us money, because if they come back 5 years from now and want another rental registration, we want to be able to know that they owed us money.
Okay.
Maybe you should put that in another.
Yeah, I don't know if there's another way. But that's giving false presence that we're gonna receive money down the road or something that we're not.
Eric,
Yes,
looking at the one that you pointed out, according to what I'm looking at, all those were paid. So I'm not quite sure why they're on this report. That's something I guess I can have a conversation with Laurie on.
yeah, I mean, that's, not only is it 180 days, it's 180 days from 24.
No, they were paid according to what I'm looking at, in October 2024.
Okay, I appreciate you looking it up quick, but I just wanted to make sure we weren't giving out license.
Well, and yeah, here's a rental, Michael and Georgia Deschamps, 42 South 9th Street. I know someone's living in that property. It's right across the street from me. And that's 60 days. It's 42 South 9th Street. We need to look at that too, if they have people in there and don't have a rental license, or they don't have their rental inspection paid for.
I have a question, Michelle Kaufman. You guys had the same discussion last year with these same financial reports. the information's not correct. You said that you were gonna come up with a plan on how to collect on all this stuff, do your write-offs. But you're back here in February with the same reports with misinformation that goes out to the public. So how long does it take to get the financials right if there's somebody working in there full time? And
Ms.
if that
Kaufman?
system, if your financial system isn't working right for you and can't generate the correct information, why do we have it?
Ms. Kaufman,
I'm just saying. We had this whole discussion last year.
under different finance managers,
I understand that.
and it hasn't been resolved, so now we're trying to resolve it.
I know that, but I'm saying everyone in this room remembers, and I don't work in here, remembers this same discussion.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, it's frustrating to hear you guys go over it and over it again when you know exactly what the problem is.
Time's expired. Sure. Hold on a second.
This is altogether different than what I was used to years back. So you've got to explain to me how this works. From what I'm seeing here, you're going to do this at every workshop,
Yes,
so there'll be no separate meetings of any kind, no public meetings of any kind for any of these issues here.
now, okay, so Frank, I know you're in favor of the committees. I personally am not in favor of the committees just because of the amount of time it requires. So what I did was I put, instead of one person as a liaison, or whatever you want to call it, to an area, a committee, I put two people. And that way, hopefully they can attend all the meetings, they can be part of different functions throughout the borough, they can work, have two more people, you have two people instead of one working on projects.
And finance has 3 as well.
Yes. I moved it to the workshop because I'm hoping, this first month is bad, but I'm hoping we can start having all the reports and we can have more time at the workshop to have discussion instead of trying to jam it through a long regular meeting where we have to make a vote on it.
Okay, just
It
so,
doesn't mean we're not going to have more discussion down the road. It just means this is an opportunity to have that open discussion.
okay, so I'm just trying to understand.
Sure.
So there won't be all of council at the next workshop meeting. It'll only be these two people that you nominate.
No, we all have
Okay.
different jobs,
We all have
Frank.
different.
Like
there's
finance, the market
all the
house, we
different-
all have different stuff to do.
There's finance, community development, public works,
Yep.
public safety.
Yep, I'm with
We'll
you.
all be here.
Right. I've asked the managers to be here. I've asked the committee chairs of the different committees, planning commission, HARB, all them, to participate as well.
Okay, this is so different
I
than
know.
what we had back in the 80s. And we always had 3 people on the committee. But if you're having all of council here and it's public, I have a problem with it.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to understand how you're going to be doing this. And I don't see a problem just from what I see here now.
I felt in the past that sometimes we had long agendas and we had to have discussion. And there really wasn't a lot of time for discussion because we were 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and we just wanted to vote and move on. Where this way gives us the opportunity to have a longer discussion. And if it has to carry over to that, it can carry over. But this way it gives us all time to talk about everything.
So if anybody comes and they have a long presentation, how are you going to handle that?
When you say a long presentation, what do you mean?
Well, if they have an issue that, whatever, with the trash man or whatever. And
It's open mic night. It's open mic night. It's your opportunity.
Okay.
I wouldn't appreciate grandstanding just because it affects everybody and including us. But if you have something that needs to be said, say it.
Yeah, and I was always in favor of that, and especially the three new people. Anytime you got a question, please ask it, you know.
Absolutely.
You might think it's a dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Please bring it out, because we all learn from it. I know I've said my share of them.
But this is a new format, Frank, and it's going to take time for us to get used to it, and it's going to take
Okay,
time to
yeah.
get used to it.
Yeah, we're so different. That's why I had a bunch of questions. But
Yeah, that's
you got
fine.
laid out different. Okay.
Okay, if we have no more questions on the finance report, let's turn to the leadership. And I believe, oh, I'm sorry, Paula, go ahead, you want to make a comment?
I just wanted to respond to Michelle. My recollection, since that conversation we had a few months ago, between Brian, Jack, and I, we did come up with policies and procedures. We forwarded that to the solicitor for the okay whether or not to move forward with it or not. If I recall, the policy was going to be that finance department would follow up within 30 days. Now, I can only speak from the code end of things where if it went past, I think if it got up to 60 days, then they were gonna get a notice of violation from me. Again, I can only speak for the codes department when it comes to those fees. So there is something in the works, but since Brian left and we have not heard from Evan yet on it, so.
I do know, I remember that the delinquencies is someone who
Right.
not letting them get so far out.
Please speak into the mic.
Do it, I don't care. I know there was discussion from Evan's side as well, and Brian, and everyone that was sitting here, that there needed to be some type of collection policy because some of these that are way out, or now we found out some of them were paid, but reality is that if there's no collection process at all, then you even hold someone accountable a year from now. They're going to look at you like you're crazy.
Mhm.
And you're probably not going to get any of that money. And I knew that was really concerning to Evan, that, hey, you probably should collect ahead of time, like after that 30 days. So that it's kind of in these reports. You know, if you go online and look at them, they're really confusing.
Mhm.
The delinquency reports, I worked in all that years ago, and I'm like, these are really cumbersome and confusing. The delinquency discrepancy reports.
We're looking for a finance manager.
That's okay.
No.
They don't have great track records around here. But thank you.
Thank you.
You can
So-
change all that, Michelle.
Okay, Councilman Cooper, would you like to give your report?
Just the financial report provides an overview of the borough's fiscal performance for the reporting period ending January 31st. And Columbia Borough is facing the challenge of paying for improvements before receiving the grant money. Due to the transitions of financial managers over the past few years, grant follow-up was impossible. With the hiring of Chief Jack Brommer as the new borough manager and Jim Williams as his assistant, as well as the inception of the finance committee, follow-up has been ongoing and is in process. Monies are finally coming into the borough for funds already spent. We have already received $400,000 for the Maple Park project grant. We received the easement for Norfolk Southern, which we've been waiting for how long?
Years.
Years. And so now we can finally complete the sale for the Ridge Ave property. Met with the DCED and precipitated movement on their part for the outstanding agreements and sales processes. Created a new borough contract for Jack. And that will be, it would have been signed tonight, but unfortunately Jack's father passed away, if you didn't know, and he's not with us this week. So The Market House grant requirements for the recovery of the RACP grant from 4 years ago is finally in process. We expect receipt of these funds September or October of 2026. The RFP for McGinnis is going out shortly. Firehouse has an updated sales contract. We are also applying for a loan with Truist Bank. Have so that when we are dealing with grant situations where we have to pay a portion before we get our portion of the grant money back, we have something we can use rather than borrow funds. And we've initiated work on a 5-year plan, so we'll be able to move forward without these challenges again. And that's about it.
Okay, I do want to say one thing. We didn't apply for tax anticipation loan, we investigated it. That would have to come through council to vote on that before we apply for it.
Right.
We're just investigating what our options are.
Okay, Jack told me he had talked with the
Yes.
gentleman from Truist.
Yes,
And I'm sorry if I was mistaken. I thought that he was applying and waiting for an answer.
he's waiting for our answers, yes, but that has to come through council, can't just be done on.
But he decided not to go with the tax anticipation loan. I
No,
wrote him
no.
about it.
What's that?
I wrote him about it. And he decided not to go from a tax anticipation loan to go for a line of credit instead. The bank suggested that that would be a better thing, a better vehicle for us to have
Okay.
as the borough
Okay.
than a tax anticipation.
That's
loan.
fine, I mean, that's what we asked him to do.
Council still has to sign the contract.
Right.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
And for people just in general to know, because it was something that I was looking into, quite a few Pennsylvania boroughs have to deal with the sort of 4-month period at the beginning of a year before the real estate tax money comes in, where they, if certain amounts or reserves are lower, they may need to cover additional expenses. Tax anticipation notices are, and just in general, I know we're not going that route, but just so people are aware, that's usually where the hardship sort of comes from, is those first few months of the year before real estate property taxes come in.
Sharon. Before you say anything, thank you
What?
for your report.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about that because
Sure.
now you said it's not a tax anticipation, what it is some other kind of loan?
A line of
A
credit.
line of
Oh, a
credit.
line of credit.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know about how much that's going to be and how long?
We haven't
the-
got an answer back from the bank
Okay,
yet.
so you don't even know the length of time. Would it be paid
No.
off
If you
quickly?
don't use it, it costs you nothing.
Okay. And is this, I don't recall us ever doing this when I was seated there. So
No.
I'm just asking if this is something because the reserves are dropped so low now.
It's because the reserve drops so low.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not the first time the borough has done it, though.
No, I understood that, but I don't remember doing it when I
Right.
was up there. That's
And
why I just.
not only that, there is a significant amount of our reserves that are waiting to be paid back from grants.
Right,
Okay. All right, thank you.
thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? All right, thank you. Community development. We have a zoning, planning, and harbor report for December 2025 in your packet. We also have a Shade Tree annual report, Shade Tree Committee annual report in your packet. And
I believe that $5,000 budget funding request, that's already accounted for in the budget that was passed, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
And that's everything. So our leaderships reports, do you have anything you want to discuss on the community development side of it?
haven't really gotten into it yet. We've been working on finance.
That's fine.
So now that I know what I'm supposed to do, I'll be doing it.
Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? Community development? Public Works. This is gonna be a good one. Buck Wild.
So Derek did send his report, and I'll send it out to you, but basically, it's basically what I had covered at the last meeting. We'd asked for permission
Right.
to move funds around, and we knew that the Walnut Street project wasn't gonna be fully funded, but due to our recent snowstorms and the effort we had to put into them, I'd like Jake, if he could give us a little update on it. I did email all council the email, so you have it, but if you could give the update on our equipment status and personnel status as well.
The snowstorm there we had back on the 25th of January took its toll on 3 pieces of our equipment. They're the bigger trucks, the bigger plows. They actually put the salt out too as a plow. Then it was a third truck, a forklift truck. We were able to get that one fixed back up with 2005 Freightliner dump truck. It's going to need a transmission fixed. It's $14,000 to have the transmission replaced, like the PTO, power take-off home. So it is a 2005. I mean, that truck's plowed a lot of miles of roads in this town. And I'll be honest with you, it's been a great truck. One of the things we've always liked about that, it's pre-emissions truck. It's 2005, so don't do all that death and get all them expenses. So like I said, that truck has been good. It's just the workout on there, that's something that's just put it over the top of the transition. So but we're in a situation, we fix it, we replace it. It's a 16-year-old truck. I still think it's got time left on it. You know, we put 14,000 in it to put a transmission in it. We pay 250,000 for another truck, and that's a truck that needs to be replaced.
Is that scheduled to be replaced?
It is, but we've kind of had that hook lift truck
Oakland,
to replace that. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But even through these last couple of years of that, we've kept looking at that truck and say, this is the only one we don't have to take it to the truck, to the shop all the time for a $2,000 emissions repair.
Right.
So, you know, it's,
And you haven't had a whole lot of other costly repairs to that truck.
no, it's been really
to that
good.
truck.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
Right.
normal, for the most part, normal maintenance.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so its service is pretty good over the years, like I said.
Yeah,
It's
the
just,
truck, I
you
mean,
know.
I think back in 2005, that truck was probably, it was bought, it was already upfitted, we didn't have it upfitted. It was back in them days, you found that trucks on the lots. It was probably $70,000 truck. The trucks are 3 or 4 times that now. And you wait a year to get one.
So how many of the big trucks do we have?
We have 2 Freightliner big trucks, and then we have the hook lift, which is just a little bit smaller.
So out of the 3, 2 are down?
One right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
1, 2 are down.
So the second Freightliner, which is a 2016, that's the last time issue. So it's up in goods now, they're trying to figure out what that is.
So I would just like to put some things in perspective.
Well, wait a sec, there's more.
Well, no, I know.
It-
And it's along that line, because with this snowstorm, I read a lot of really nasty things about the borough and our crews and everything else. And I want to just put some things in perspective here. We just heard Jake say, out of the 3 trucks, all 3 of them are having a mess during this storm. Well, yeah, 2 of them are still having a mess. One is good. Not only that, we are effectively down, and I've read people comparing it to past years. Oh, they did so much better before, and they did so much better before. So not only did we have the issues with the trucks, but we have been down 2 public works employees for the better part of a year and a half now, right? Since we've had that. Not in addition to being down 2 people completely, we have had a difficult time finding public works employees that have a CDL. So we have taken to hiring them as laborers rather than highway workers. So we are in a sense down 4 people that used to be able to use the heavy equipment that now cannot, because they're either not with us or they're the laborers and don't have the CDL to use the heavy equipment. So that's why things have looked slower than they had in the past. But I think, given those challenges, they've done a good job with what they've had. We did have to contract with an outside company to get them to come in because of the equipment issues and the personnel issues. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And I don't think last week we were all saying, yes, they did a great job. Yes, they did a great job. They did do a great job for what they had, but people are noticing it's not the same level as in past years. And this is why we are down people. We cannot find people. And the equipment, unfortunately, did not hold up as
I'm not
But-
sure what level they're talking about.
Well, so here's the other thing.
Oh, and we haven't seen this much snow for how many years?
It's snow with ice on top of it, and then 0-degree weather every day.
That's to this last
That's-
storm.
Yes.
Typically, in this area, when it snows, it's 25 to 32 degrees.
Right.
Okay? Easily managed with salt.
Right.
When you're dealing with a snowstorm, it's 15 degrees out. Salt's a lot less effective. The melting rate slows considerably, so it's, there's. Right, the sun, and that's
Yep.
our best
Yeah.
friend when that sun comes
Yeah, we get the
out. It don't
sun.
matter if it's 20 degrees, that sun's out.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
No.
The sun's our best friend right now.
But I will say one thing, I mean, out plowing, it's a fluffy snow, it's a light fluffy snow, so when that snow come off that plow before the sleet started, it just flowed. And that's what I said about earlier, like when we did the developments, and even like Ironville Pike and stuff, you couldn't get as close as you normally do, because if you did, I'm gonna stick a foot of snow.
Yep.
Then we're gonna be in the PennDOT. So there was some give and take with that. The problem is once that ice comes down, then because you weren't able to put the other stuff back, then it kind of shrunk stuff, kind of shrunk the road up a little bit, we get it back. Sunday night, we left here at midnight. Things were good.
Yes.
The roads were passable. The problem was the snow in the streets.
Yep.
People digging out.
And with these cold temperatures, you put that snow in you get an ice pack. I
Yep.
was concerned that whole snow, even leading up. I said, we gotta get this stuff off because I don't want a 3-inch ice pack. When you look at the temperatures, so, I mean, and everybody else battled the same thing.
Right.
But we were using small trucks to do the outer end because we were down the one for out there.
Yep.
So to them wide streets, them guys were taking 4 passes one way just to get back. Well, that's time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we probably lost 3 hours of time that night just from that, if not more. But I mean, we put our time in. We were in here at 5 o'clock. Sunday
Oh, I know.
night
You know you
till
didn't.
midnight Sunday night, and we were back here, early Monday morning.
I know. I didn't even call you when someone got stuck coming out of my alley on Tuesday.
We talked about that last week.
Who was that person? You know who that person was?
The avenues are always our worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to give it.
But you I have one of my young guys in there, and that's all he did was battle alleys the whole time, so you
They're
know,
passable.
more of us could just
Right.
focus on the street.
And that's the difference between the labor and the CDL, the maintenance work, the highway maintenance. You know, oh yeah, he does a great job.
In
I wait.
25 years that I've been here, I've seen a lot worse snowstorms.
Mhm.
This snowstorm was handled well, and I think Eric, maybe you want to put it, and Jake, put it in perspective. During all those snowstorms, we did not have that temperature that we had in this snowstorm. This was really a freak.
It was.
Usually, you get the snow, you plow it, a couple days later, it's gone or half gone or whatever have you. It didn't move. It hasn't moved. You know, and that's the problem.
Well,
You know.
I mean, yeah, we're not seeing it melt, we're seeing it evaporate before it even
Yeah,
melts.
evaporating. That's
It's
about it.
evaporating.
We've never had one like this in 25 years I've been here.
No.
And in 17, I think we had 20-some inches, and that didn't last near as long.
No, it didn't.
Right.
I think back in the 60s, we had this,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
It was climate change.
like Jake said, we were not alone in this. Last week, we went to the Lancaster County Boroughs Association dinner, and we were all lamenting the same thing, that, you know, this has been really, really different than other years. Not only that, we were all lamenting the fact that we're having a hard time finding public works employees, you know, and that the majority of them had to contract out some portion of their snow removal, whatever. So,
And, you know, I noticed there was somebody posted on Facebook, a man and his son were going around digging out fire hydrants. I mean, that's great. I mean, that's something every neighborhood can do. I mean, I'm just saying what I've noticed this year over other snowstorms this year. This year, it just seemed like it was every man for himself. Neighbors were not helping each other out. Our block we did, you know, I mean, a guy had a snow blower, we did 3, 4, 5 properties at a time. But I mean, for the most part, you'd see people complain about when are they going to come, when the alleyway's a little tight, when are they going to come and dig it open it up? Well, go down to the end with a shovel and shovel it out. It took us an hour or so, but we did it. You know, I mean, still alive, didn't drop dead from it. We have to, you know, you have to have some more ownership of. You see things, they can't get to everything within 5 minutes of you calling it in. And Jake, I wanted you to share the personnel issue that you're going to run into now with who you're losing.
I saw that.
It's gonna be out for probably 2 months.
And he's
6 weeks at least.
So we are going to.
he's a key operator,
pray for no
equipment
more
operator
snow.
too. He's one of your key equipment operators, right?
Is there a place to get temporary people for that? You know, like, I mean, offices they do, is there like to bring in temporary people to help?
CDL is the issue.
I know, but I'm just
MDOT
saying,
can't get
is there,
CDL.
I know.
Sometimes what these places will do is they'll just get a
Contract
Okay.
with somebody.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I had a resident that called in and left a message the other day that if we needed somebody to shovel or do sidewalks, he would be available. So I don't know if that's an avenue we can go if we can get into that situation or not. We have 6 more weeks according to.
Which groundhog said that? There was a number of them. Which one was that?
What about Octorara or Fee?
Yeah, there was like 10 of them.
Mount Joy Mini.
Okay.
The one thing I want,
They're only right.
I know.
the one thing I wanted to bring up though, obviously, Jake's already talked about the troops out, the 2015 or 16. That's kind of electrical issue they're looking for, and then of course the transmission. So I don't think we're looking for approval for the transmission tonight, but I think it's something by next Tuesday's meeting, we're gonna have to make a decision on it.
Right.
Because if you get another snow, we're gonna be, you know, up against it. Plus, yeah, plus we don't, you know, if we were gonna get the okay to just explore what it's gonna cost, like you get the one that's at goods now, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer to let them follow through with it.
Right.
We have to have at least one truck back.
Right.
Right.
I had a question regarding contractors. Do we currently contract with anyone or organization as far as snow plowing goes?
They do have contractors they work with.
Mhm.
We honestly do not want a contract if
Yeah.
we don't have to financially.
100%. Yeah. Just trying to think about the options if another snowstorm does come in February.
Well, and I mean, you think about it, you're looking at about $1,000 a truck per day
Mhm.
if we have to contract in.
Yeah.
You did have to do some of that last
Yeah,
week.
we did have to do some of that.
Okay.
Choice.
So now this week, we're working just with R2. Now it's a lot slower.
Yep.
Because now the problem is I'm running in places, or shop, if anybody's been there,
Mhm.
it's full. So the railroad was kind enough to give us a spot up there, but it takes a lot longer to do it. That stuff will be here till.
May or June, yeah. Sure hasn't melted much.
Okay, Public Works.
Yes.
Sure, Shine. Sorry.
I like the idea of contracting just to help them. I thought you said as good as you could. I feel for you. But I wonder, can that come out of capital fund or how does
No.
that work? It has to come out of general when you
Yes.
contract.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Chief.
Anything else on the Public Works? All right, Public Safety. In the Public Safety, we have a police report, fire report, the EMS report, and the AMA report.
This gentleman did the EMS report.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he wants to give his annual.
Yeah, I think let's do the
Yeah,
police and fire first.
A couple bullet points I wanted to go over. A little bit of good news. I did receive the annual report from the Columbia Borough Police Department, and it showed a 12% drop in crime over the last year, 24. Had about 10,046 UCR reports. 98 of those were violent crimes. That was down from 2024, which was 1,189. And 107 violent crimes. Conversely, traffic citations were up about 25%. And as follows, the revenue from those traffic violations were up in 2025 as well.
Yeah, and as far as the fire department goes, while overall there was an increase in the total number of calls, a lot of that is attributed to the good intent calls. So that is unknown alarms, controlled burns, steam, stuff that they didn't actually have to do anything about. That doubled this year. In actuality, if you remove the good intent calls and we just talk about false alarms and things that the fire department had to respond to, it dropped to 566 from 612 in 2024. Overall, since 2022, that number has continued to drop down 17% as far as calls that have the fire department actually, they need to address something there. The largest drop was specifically in rescue and EMS calls and false alarms this year. And then there was a small increase in hazardous materials and service calls. That's stuff like smoke and odor, animal public service, stuff like that. So overall, the fire department the fire company is doing a great job, also providing a lot of mutual aid to Wrightsville, West Hempfield, Mountville. And we're seeing, generally speaking, a decrease in, problems that need addressed by the fire company.
All right. Keith, if you could come to the podium, you have your floor now.
Sure. Well, thank you again for having me. My name is Keith McMahon. I'm the Senior Director of Penn State Lifeline. Normally, at the municipal meetings I've been attending in January and now in February, I have Dr. Chad Nesbitt with me. Dr. Nesbitt was recently hired by Penn State Health to be the lead EMS physician. Many of you know Dr. Rehart, who lives in the area. Dr. Rehart is still with us. Dr. Rehart is the medical director for Lifeline here in Lancaster County. Wanted to just give you a year-end report for 2025 and just tell you a little bit more about the leadership changes within Penn State Health Lifeline. So the leadership changes essentially involve myself taking over the Lancaster County area. What we've done is consolidate the leadership team. I've been based out of Lifeline Hershey for the last 4.5 years. And Penn State executive leadership has really executed an intentional strategy based on a consultant that we had to make sure that we are delivering emergency medical services the same way throughout what is a 6-county area in central Pennsylvania, where we provide those services for over 60 municipalities. So moving forward, Dr. Nesbitt and I will be working with the council on any issues that come up. There is a new operations manager in Lancaster that runs the day-to-day. His name's John Shook. I believe some of you met him within the last 2 weeks. And then Kim Keene is the business manager. Many of you know Kim, and she's kind of my deputy in running the business. So we in 2025, we responded to 2,283 calls in the borough. This is one of our busiest jurisdictions of the 6-county area. Not the busiest, but certainly up there. You know, we've seen an increase in calls in this area. There's no doubt. People often asked us what types of calls are we responding on. You can see from the report, general illness, just a sick person call is very prevalent. That's one of the highest percentage calls we run. We also run a lot of calls for breathing problems and chest pains here, which in the borough. The unit here in the borough is staffed with a paramedic to handle some of the more serious emergencies. Convulsions and seizures is up there. Behavioral health calls. We all know we have a nationwide mental health crisis in the United States, and EMS experiences that on a daily basis, and that's reflected in the number of responses we have for that type of call here in the borough. Overall, our performance is really good. We have a median response time of 8 minutes and 59 seconds from the time we call 911 to the time we have a unit on the scene. So we're very, very proud of that record. I'm here just to answer any questions you have. Again, wanted to introduce myself as kind of the face of Lifeline going forward. Hoping in the next couple weeks to months you'll get to meet Dr. Chad Nesbitt, my physician partner. And we operate on what's called a shared leadership model. So the physician oversees all the clinical care, the training, the education of our EMTs and paramedics, and then myself being the administrative or the operations director handles all of those things like budget, municipal agreements, and other operational issues. So happy to take questions at this time.
Yeah, I'm actually glad to have you here because I actually did have a question when I was reviewing it.
Sure.
Specifically on the response time median.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could give like a bit more of a breakdown as far as like the two extremes, quick responses and long responses. I know, does this only account for the unit assigned or units that are within the borough when they respond? I'm just want to get some
So that median response time is the overall response time of any Lifeline unit responding here to the borough.
Mm-hmm.
It's not average. The reason we use median is because there are some outliers, right? There's some times where if the call is right next to the station, we're there in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really give you as elected officials a true picture of what our normal response. And then there are times where when the system is busy, right? And all the ambulances are out and the units coming, that response time could be much longer than that. So that's where the median kind of throws out the outliers and tries to get to the core response time. I will tell you that response times as a measure of performance in EMS is something that is going by the wayside. Of course, for strokes, for heart attacks, for serious trauma, response times make a difference. We know that. That is 7% of the calls. Okay. A lot of the 911 calls are class 2 and class 3 that response time would not make a difference. And the EMS system is changing. I've heard all the conversations about staffing within the borough. We've experienced those staffing. Healthcare is experiencing those staffing concerns right now. It's the quality of the delivery of the care that is merging to the top. It's being able to connect to hospitals and things of that nature. As you're aware, we built a hospital in the last 3 years near your community. We consider our crews an extension of those hospitals. That's how we approach, our delivery model. But response times is becoming less and less important to measure performance of an EMS system. However, we know the first complaint you get as an elected official is probably the ambulance didn't get here in time. We're very sensitive to that. And we'll of course work with those types of concerns when they come in. But that is a really good medium response time for what would be considered. I know Columbia Borough probably doesn't consider themselves rural, but overall in the grand scheme of things, Lancaster County is considered rural, and the delivery model is through rural health EMS.
Thank you for the insight.
When you say median response,
Median.
is that through all classes?
Correct.
So
It is.
So it's understandable. You get a class 3 call. The
Correct.
urgency isn't as bad as a class 1.
So correct, but I will tell you, Lancaster County dispatch plays a large role in those decisions. And right now, the way dispatch has been administered in the county for many, many years, it has not, it doesn't differentiate really between class 1, 2, and 3 as far as how units are dispatched. I will tell you, there are some decisions to be made coming up that we're working with the 911 director on. I believe some of those things were presented at the mayor's committees and the borough municipal committees where, we know some of the municipalities around us or counties around us are stacking class 2 and 3 calls that are considered non-emergent, where if a local government is contracting with an EMS provider to provide service in their area, that during a class 3 call, there could be a wait period to make sure that provider, when they get freed up, comes and serves your citizens. Okay, that's not currently done in Lancaster County, but is certainly something that's being looked at in the future. For class 1s, those are your emergencies, and getting there as soon as we can is very important. But that is a low percentage of the calls.
That was interesting, your 7%. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I have a comment.
Sure.
Last week, we had an emergency management committee.
Yes.
2 years ago, Kim.
Tim and John. Yeah.
It was so nice to see that. And they probably told you already, with all the events that are planned throughout this year here in Columbia, there's going to be a lot of emergency plans done.
Right.
Those events, so it was important that they're there. really nice to see them there. But, they're gonna play a big role in what we have going on this year.
We appreciate you allowing us to be a partner and have a seat at the table. And we will be here for the borough. Penn State wants to be in this community.
It was gratifying to see them there.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I won't be, John handles the operation, so he's the more appropriate person, but he has several municipalities to cover. So if he can't be here, I'll be here. I think I was at one of them back in the fall.
Yeah.
Had a chance to meet everyone when I first transitioned into this expanded role. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me this evening.
Thank you, Keith. Anything else for public safety?
No, only other thing I would say is, like Leo mentioned at the previous emergency planning meeting, they're already working on plans for the celebrations regarding the 250 and 300, and how that's going to affect emergency management. So just so people are aware, they're already starting to develop that, the changes that will need to be made.
All right, legislation. Actually, I messed up on the agenda. Legislation is Councilwoman Zink and Councilperson Murphy. I don't think we have a report, but we'll have one for the next.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't realize I was still on it, so I talked to Paul. We're gonna arrange a meeting in the next week or so, just to kind of get a touch base where we were at. And I know Chief Romer was working on a couple as well. So with him being out, I can't really get an update from him.
I just wanted to let everyone know on Friday morning, Jack, Jim went, and I went. We went to Senator Malone's office with with the manager from Raffo Township, Mountjoy Borough, and West Hempfield Township to discuss Senate Bill 777, which is basically extending the Municipal Authorities Act to include EMS authorities. We basically explained why that would not be a good thing. First and foremost, if it's already legal, why do we need legislation to make it legal? And also, we wanted to make sure that if it does go through, it's abundantly clear that authorities do not have the authority to charge municipalities that are not participating with that authority when their ambulances come into, our municipality. Senator Malone and his staff were very receptive to what we were talking about. We were, explaining all of our positions on that. I'm not sure where this is going to fall. It's going to be interesting, but it looks like it has bipartisan support. The best we can do at this point is let him know all of the things all of the shortcomings we felt existed in that proposed legislation. Andrew Stern prepared some really good notes and left them with him and his staff. So hopefully we are heard there. And Kelly, I didn't realize you were on legislation as well. If you're having legislation meetings, please make sure I'm included.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
One of the first things I wanted to do is look at the ones that we voted to advertise last year that never got done. Evan said there were some issues with them. I was hoping to take a look at those and maybe we can get those issues worked out.
I
it took them a while to share that information with us. So.
Yeah. So.
Thank you. Communication.
Yeah, so we don't have a formal report currently. What we're currently talking about is preparing a communications plan for the borough. Specifically, I wanted to illustrate kind of how important a comprehensive communication and sort of messaging system is important for us. So really quickly, I just want to walk through a common example that's used to demonstrate communications, which is what's called dihydrogen monoxide. If anybody is familiar with that, it is a major component of acid rain, can cause severe burns, accelerates corrosion and rusting of metals, and found in tumors of terminal cancer patients. It's water. Dihydrogen monoxide is just H2O. And that is commonly referred to as a way to demonstrate how important a good message is and providing the proper context around an issue to sort of adjust how people see it. So we've been working on putting together this communications report. We're going to, once Jack is able to sit down with us and go through everything, we're going to sit down with the staff and talk about exactly how we want to implement it, what's feasible, what we want to look at in the future. But the main objectives of improving the communication is 5 points. One is increasing public awareness of borough activities, resources, and policies. 2, building trust and transparency with the community. 3, encouraging engagement and feedback. 4, managing expectations around challenges and decisions. And 5, promote community involvement. And I think the next to last one, managing expectations, is really important to consider, because if we don't provide the proper context around decisions and policies, then people sort of think of their own reasons or ideas of why something is passed or why something is implemented. And that's something that I think that the municipal government and the council can definitely put some more time to, because just since being on council, I've criticized a lot of decisions over the last year, but since being on council and having more information about the situations, if we can get more of that information out to people, I think generally people will, be a bit more friendly and understanding of some of the issues that the borough faces.
Right.
So that's why I think communications is something we're going to need to spend a lot of time on this year, and we're starting with this communications plan.
Awesome.
Ethan, are you going to be looking at, obviously, like a better way for us to circle the gang, get everything together more or less with not just social media, but with our email text message blasts and things like that, so we can kind of get more of a, it's like some people are getting it, some people aren't, that kind of thing. So we got to try to work the kinks out of that.
Yeah. So generally speaking, what we're going to start with is taking a look at the stuff we currently already do, and making sure it's being used fully and effectively. And then there is quite a few different examples from other municipalities of how they communicate. Things like digital newsletters is a great way of doing it, and physical for people who aren't familiar with digital tools. Definitely utilizing things like TextMyGov more often when we can. I know that is an expense, but outside of just extremely urgent alerts, being able to work with authorities that provide service in the borough, like the water, if they have an outage or PPL has an outage or something like that, if we can be able to communicate that properly as well, that would be a great use of TextMyGov. So we're sort of building out this whole thing and trying to plan out what we can do in the future. But until we can see what the bandwidth is for people on staff and people who are, interested in helping out on the communications, we're going to temper expectations currently, work through what we can, and then make a plan to expand in the future.
I think we also discussed directing folks to things that are already existing, such as like the E-code is an amazing resource that if you're not looking for it, not searching for it, you may be a little harder to find. But like our E-code has everything that you could possibly need. The minutes, all the agendas are on there. So it's just directing people to the things that already exist and to keep that line of communication.
That's a good comment, Tom. And as you talking, PPL has that system.
Mhm.
A lot of people aren't aware of that. You can sign up for that and you'll get a phone call and a text.
Yeah,
If you have.
And an
the ability to
email.
text. And an email.
we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're
Yeah,
trying
I
to,
know what I'm saying,
to-
Tom, is
yeah,
like the E-codes, if people know that service is out there, then we don't have to reinvent it.
sure.
All we gotta do is tell people, you need to get in line and do these things.
Or maybe simplify the way that they find
Simplify,
that
yeah.
information
Yeah.
out. And that's going to answer maybe,
I mean, that's been a great service for me.
going to answer a lot of questions before they need to be asked, Terry,
Yeah.
possibly.
And another example of that is something that we're planning to put together later in the year. Tom and I have talked about it a little bit. Is, for instance, when we have drafts of the budget, creating executive summaries and graphs and things to make sure that people can understand it at the different points of its development, and they can understand where all the costs are going at a high level, for people who don't have time to go through the 30-page document. Stuff like that is stuff we really want to make that information more accessible to people.
Absolutely. One other thing, you mentioned digital,
Mhm.
but it's been a trying time to try to get out newsletters
Mhm.
annually or semi-annual.
Yeah, semi-annual.
That's something I'd like you guys to work on, because I know we have digital, and some of the younger people follow digital a little bit better. Some of us older people, I prefer mail.
Yes.
Get it in the mail. So if we could try to accomplish that this year, that'd be a great step forward too, because
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword because the digital outlets kind of put the physical form, past that price point that a lot of people are comfortable with. But we can go ahead and research and see if we can find
so
a feasible way to do that.
we did our own newsletters.
Mhm.
And we mailed out our own newsletters. So it's not, the cost isn't going to be greater. It's more so
Staff bandwidth.
staff
Yeah.
bandwidth, where you guys can get the resources and
Yeah.
generate it.
I did make a note in here that if we want to start doing something like a newsletter, the best way to approach it is we're going to start digital so we can see exactly the process and sort of hammer that in and see how much long it takes to even put together one. And then I was thinking we can have people start to sign up, or maybe automated signups depending on if they're enrolled in other programs here in the borough. That would then be the targets for mail order. So for instance, anyone who might be signed up for the senior parking pass, I think we could reasonably assume we can send out a physical copy as well as digital, just to make sure they get the information they need.
Some time ago, we talked about contacting the school. That would be an excellent program for the STEM program.
Yes.
That would be an excellent project.
And it does look
I don't
like
know if the school district does that or not.
it does look like they
District
have
just came out with
some
one.
sponsors for their newsletter too. So
Yeah.
maybe we could look into finding a sponsor. to
Yeah,
assist
sponsors
with,
via local businesses would be a great way to cover the costs.
And we did do them in the past, so there are
Examples.
templates or whatever, but examples, what kind of stuff they put in before.
Mhm.
But definitely reinvent it, what I mean?
Yeah.
Bring it up to-
And then really quickly, before we go off communications, but is there any other questions regarding the plan or anything I've discussed? Hopefully at the next workshop, we should be able to have a solid draft together for everyone to see.
Awesome.
So before we move on, just really quickly, I had included in the packet the information regarding the 2024-13 resolution. That was what was brought up at the last council meeting regarding undocumented immigrants and the sort of response to Lancaster City's ordinance. I wanted to include it so we could, everyone at the very least on council can be aware of what the specific resolution we were discussing was. I do think that from just a messaging perspective, it would be prudent of us to consider putting out some kind of official statement or resolution that, you know, considering what has happened in Mount Joy just over the last few days, where they were discussing signing that agreement. And then last night at their meeting, they had so many people in opposition that they had to close the meeting early because it went over the fire code for the building. And additionally, this is an agreement that was made before the current sort of iteration of ICE existed that is much more controversial within the last year. I think it would be prudent for us to discuss if we wanted to make a resolution specifically stating that we will continue to follow, you know, the policies that we have been following, which is we don't currently do any cross training. We don't currently, you know, we don't have the bandwidth to work with the police to have, you know, additional resources available for ICE. So I just think it would be beneficial for us to talk about that.
Okay, so first of all, we don't work with ICE.
Yes.
We follow federal law.
Mhm.
So if there is a illegal person in this country who is arrested for a reason,
Mhm.
then we follow law and they get turned over to ICE. ICE doesn't come in here and we work with them.
Yes.
We only have so many officers per shift. Second of all, it's federal law.
Mhm.
So if people want to change the policy and ignore federal law, they need to go to federal council and change it there.
Yeah, specifically what I'm talking about is just re-emphasizing that, like, we are not planning on, I don't remember what the agreement was. It was something with a G, that other municipalities have entered into with ICE where they do cross-training. I think it might be beneficial for, you know, we have a pretty significant Hispanic population here in Columbia, and there have been a lot of allegations recently of people being picked up based off of the assumption of illegal status, even though that may not be true. I just think it would be beneficial and sort of a, what's the word? Yeah, a show of good faith to just say, you know, put our policy in a clear declaration that, like, you know, we're not planning to expand into any sort of other agreement. This is currently what the police are doing, stuff like that. So not changing policy, but just stating the you know, the current policies.
I thought the resolution was clear.
Yeah, so did I.
I did too.
Me too.
I mean, I read,
Right.
you know, I read through it, read the resolution. I've shown it to other people in different organizations and people in my neighbors and things, they think about it. We never committed to being, 772G, wherever it is. We never said that, okay? I never worked for ICE. I don't know anybody in this room who worked for ICE. So for me to say that the current iteration, the current whatever, is different than the past one, I don't know that. I think ICE was ICE. I don't think anything's changed over the years. I think how the public reaction is to it has changed, okay? That happens with change in leadership. I get that. But to sit there and say that we need to step out and do what something similar to what Mount Joy was doing. Mount Joy is totally different than what we were doing. We never stated that in here, that our guys are going to go in there and start working with them. But like Eric said, it is federal law.
Mm-hmm.
Federal law is the law of the land. It says it in the Constitution. So we can't thumb our nose at it and say we're not going to follow it.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying let's, you know, say
But
we're
that's
not
what
going
many-
to follow
that's what
federal
many
law.
of them are doing, though.
You
And we don't
can
want to
write
go
all
that
the
far
paper
either.
you want to write, but we're going to follow the letter.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
So all you're doing is trying to follow things that don't need to be crossed.
That's not necessarily true. I think it is good for people who are concerned about ICE in communities currently to have sort of.
Okay.
I personally don't want to put something out there that's going to make people think that we're not going to follow the law. And what you're saying, I think, gives that impression that we are not going to do anything.
Reading comprehension, and that's a problem. So if you don't put anything out there for them to read, there won't be a problem.
When I read that, I thought, we're gonna fight against ICE. We go to
You
the
have to come to the microphone.
That's the way it is.
Anybody else have an opinion?
Like I said, it's not like our guys are gonna come to down and we're gonna take half our police force and assign them to work with ICE that day to do.
Yeah,
That's not
I
gonna
agree.
happen. We don't have that.
And I know that that's not what's
We don't
going to
have that
happen.
bandwidth.
I just think it's beneficial if we would state something like that and reaffirm it. It could quell some concerns that people may have in the borough. That's all I'm saying.
I have stated in the performance of their duties, if officers come across someone who is illegal, they will notify, not take it, they will notify Immigration Services. What immigration does after that is up to them. All it will be is an information pass-through, period.
Councilman Deasy, do you have something?
No,
I have a question on communications beyond this, though.
Yeah.
Last month, as we've been working on the RFP for McGinnis, we said there was going to be a press release to hype up. Is that prepared? Because we wanted that to go out this week.
We still need to get with the borough manager, Brommer. We have not received the hard and fast dates of when these things need to occur.
Yeah, we were waiting to release any sort of press release or we have a draft, but we're waiting to do any sort of release until we get a vote and lock in those dates.
Okay, that's good. Do you need dates?
Yes, we need dates
Yeah,
for the start of
we need the dates.
I have the
bids.
dates.
But we need to vote on it so it stays locked in. I don't want to put out a press release and then something comes up and we have to move them.
Tuesday? Do you want to do the RFP on Tuesday?
Can we wait till next Tuesday?
I haven't gotten the final okay from Evan, but yeah, I can.
We're gonna put that in.
Keep the noise removed. Covers.
Contact.
Yeah, we're issuing it March 30th.
I have a question
You won't see Jack.
about communication.
Council's discussing stuff.
I'm sorry.
No, and I mean, even if we put it out there, I mean, because I want this to be able to go to, I want the notification to go to the CEDC, the Lancaster EDC. I want it to go to the developers that have already contacted us, Wolson, High, realtors in the area.
Yeah.
You know, all of that. The only question I have that I've asked Evan is, can we put in the press release something to the effect of, you know, if you'd like to see advanced copy of it, contact us. I don't know if we're allowed to give that. I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Leo. I don't know if we're allowed to do that or not. That's the only question. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to get this out as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's why the concern was that if we sent it out and then something caused it to be delayed, we'd have to send stuff out again and try to clarify the date, which is why we wanted to get a vote on it first.
So,
Put it on the agenda.
right.
And if you're not ready, you can remove it from the agenda.
You have a draft going now. You guys working on a draft?
We have, basically I took some of the previous RFP announcements and biddings that were public in newspapers and put together something similar. We haven't had the chance to sit down with Jack and go over everything, but
Okay, thank you.
This is to Councilman Byers.
Hi.
Hi, and Councilman Ziegler. Communications is the website and the Facebook pages under your purview now. Will they be part of you making sure those are up to date? They haven't been working for some time, well over a year.
That was part of our
Council,
discussion.
council is not going to do that. That is.
Oh, I thought that's what communications,
Right.
no, that's what I'm
They're-
asking.
Yeah, they're not going to.
They're not
that's
going to fix the problem.
it would still be staff that would have
Yeah.
to address the specific things like posting.
But you could
and-
fix if there's a problem with why they can't do anything.
Well, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's things that aren't getting updated or announced that should be on the Facebook page that are coming up here in the 300th, as well as other things, and on the,
Physically do the
okay,
updating
I'm
ourselves.
sorry, I
think
just address it.
I think it's going to be our onus to request or address the staff to make sure that we're updating things that are relative.
Okay, very good, thank you.
No one has access to the borough's Facebook. Jack's in the midst of contacting that person so we know which way to go. As far as either eliminating that one and starting a new one, or getting the credentials to be able to access that Facebook.
We never owned it?
I'm
The
sorry?
borough never owned it?
The borough did own
We
it.
did
The way Facebook,
Credentials were given to a staff member that's no
Yeah.
longer with us.
I understand.
yeah, the way Facebook pages work is that they're assigned to a user on Facebook. And if that person is no longer with the borough, then they're the only person who has control over adding new people to it. Other than directly reaching out to Facebook to get it corrected, or the person who had access.
I got
Facebook
lots of
is
questions about that because I'm
notoriously
doing other
Yeah, no,
websites.
Facebook
and
sucks.
There's more than,
Yeah.
if it's a government, site, there should have been another person.
Yes.
But I understand, we've been through a lot of changes, but I just wanted to ask on that, since it was communicated.
you.
Thank you
Hindsight's
for your
always
time.
20/20.
Can we
Thank you for your
cancel
time.
what we have and
Thank
just
you,
redo
ma'am.
a new one?
I don't want to if we don't have to.
Yeah,
Right.
we would, there's a pretty, I don't remember the last time I checked how many followers there were, but it's over a few thousand, and that takes a while to build up to.
To try and get a new, right.
All right. Anything else under housekeeping? Or communication?
Oh, but when,
Housekeeping.
along with communication, there is also a LinkedIn page.
Yes.
I'm the administrator on that right now.
Okay.
so. I forgot
Please
to put
don't
that-
keep it from us.
No, I forgot to put that on the list of things tasks I've been doing.
Okay.
Okay, Market House report submitted for January 2026. Anybody have any questions on the Market House report? Leadership reports. Councilman Easy.
I'd just like to note, Bonnie and I met, and there will be some changes at the Market House, different vendors coming in, some will be leaving. Those things will be announced closer to when those people do that. We do have two vendors that we know will not be at the Market House anymore, and that's On the Bun and Anaya Sweets. Those leases were not renewed. But we do
Were
have.
they not renewed by us?
Yeah.
Yes,
Or by them? Okay,
yes, they were
thank
not
you.
renewed by us, right? And some other stand holders will be moving around, so there are going to be some changes where people are. There's going to be some reassigning and people moving around at the Market House.
Joanne, how the rentals going?
Come on up.
Well, with the rentals, they were very good November and December. They have not been good for January. I guess I think the weather probably has something to do with that. We have also changed our pricing structure, and I think we need to take another look at that. Because I think there's a certain reason why most people used us as a venue. And I think we may have priced ourselves out of the market on that. So I think that's something we need to revisit. We also did just rejoin Eventective so that we have access in a bigger area to look for that.
I understand that. Usually the first quarter of the year in retail is usually one of your lower quarters.
Yeah, I don't have any
So-
records to compare it to, so,
Until the weather changes and income taxes come in and things change.
okay, good, thank you. Anything
The
else?
market still there seems buzzy and
Yes.
busy.
Yeah.
Busy. There's people, coming in and out. It's,
The weekly
Yeah.
is fine.
right.
I was just wondering about the rental.
She is working on that. We had a discussion about the rent.
But think about it, if you plan an event in January and you get what we just had,
You don't have it. Well, and she's also looking to possibly partner with some other places to generate and bring some of those things in here. Those are some of the things that she has in the works. She's been working pretty hard to try and get that stuff together.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank
Bonnie.
you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. The Land Bank Committee, oh, that Mr. Coates, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Coach Peel.
Codes Appeals. There were 8 Codes Appeals, were
We
there?
have one.
One coming up.
See one today.
Okay,
But in the period from the last month to this month, we did not have any
right.
codes appeals.
So like I said in the past, you enjoy Codes Appeal?
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity to learn stuff.
And the codes, I guess the codes report codes report is in the packet for everybody to go through. I would just,
Right.
the only thing I would say is, if you look at the numbers, the total, we had 684 inspections, 711 quick ticket violations, and 685 others. So for four people in the department? Well,
3,
no, we have
2.5.
That's a lot of work to get done in that,
2.5, you're
that
right.
short number of people. So, anybody wants to complain,
Doing
give
the
us 6
best that you
people.
can.
Imagine what you have with that. Yeah.
Paul, I have a question on some of these condemnations. You have date of condemnation and compliance date. Why are they still on here if they didn't meet the compliance date?
Because they're still condemned.
They're condemned.
So, yeah.
So the compliance date is the date they have to fix it before it becomes condemned? Or, okay,
Yeah, like I know like 118 North 8th Street, that is being worked on very actively.
Mhm.
They're putting a roof on, they're doing a mad dash to get it up before the real
Weather.
bad snow
Yeah.
came. So
Yeah, I
think it
believe
was
that was,
purchased.
yeah, it was just purchased about 2 months ago. So
Yeah.
I guess the land bank or the redevelopment authority may
Redevelopment.
reconsider purchasing it. But really quickly, can you go into details of what the status in progress is, just like in general?
Progress, that means that something's being done with it.
Okay.
It's just not completed yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that 118 North 8th and the 447 Union, that's in the vacant property program. And the last time we met, we voted to allow the redevelopment authority to enter into negotiations for purchase.
Yeah.
So, but that 118 North 8th, it's been sold, but the blight determination follows
It's,
the property.
follows the
So
property.
that new owner is bound by the terms that the vacant property reinvestment board set forth.
Very true. Thank you.
I like sitting on that board.
all right. Land Bank. Land Bank, unfortunately, doesn't meet too often.
I'll let Ethan. There was a miscommunication. That's all I can say. But Ethan was able to zoom in. I checked in the morning, said it was snowing so bad that day. I thought, well, maybe they aren't having it today. And the lady said, oh no, we're not having it today. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, they had by Zoom anyway.
Yeah.
Alright.
The only thing, it was mostly a reorganization meeting, the previous one. So the only two thing was the 2 properties here that were approved for purchase by the redevelopment authority. Not technically land bank, but it potentially would have been transferred to them. So that's really the only update. I mentioned it last week during my councilman comments.
Okay,
There's supposed to be a new coordinator.
yes.
Yes.
What I don't have, like, for example, my calendar says there's a land bank meeting tomorrow night.
So is mine. There was a lady,
Marisol.
No, Marisol was leaving.
No, Marisol left. There's somebody.
Not
Yeah.
leaving, moved
but
from
moved
that
up.
Right,
job.
right,
She's being promoted.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
right,
talked to
so
Justin Eby last week. And he
Justin was in, then it was Marisol, then, and now somebody else. And then somebody
I
else.
don't know.
Marisol told me that they're still looking to hire somebody currently.
Because Justin had asked me, didn't he?
Yeah, because Sean Crumpy moved.
Yeah, Sean Crump moved.
Yeah.
So,
Marisol currently until they hire somebody else.
okay.
Maybe we
If I
can contact her and
Marisol,
ask her to send out a new
we can get- I
invite,
can get a
so we can just
schedule.
leave everything off our
I
calendar.
think we need to get the schedule down.
Yeah. I've had for a while, I've had multiple land bank ones on my calendar. I'm like, so I would call Eric and say, is this the one or is this the one?
Yeah, need to get that locked down because
And they do have in-person meetings too.
Yes, so you,
when
They're-
Sean,
they're
when
supposed to
Sean
come
was
here.
there, the first month, he gave the key to get online, and then he never added it every time he had a monthly agenda, and I used to have to call him, hey, you got, I don't save those emails. Okay, I'll see if we can get that straightened out through someone or myself.
All righty. Parks and Rec.
You have the podium. You have the podium. We
You
won't
only
let
have
you
my
know.
attention for once a month. I can give you an update for 2025. We had 2 new members join our team in 2025. We're happy to have them. We just had another one join like last week, so that's in 2026. We tabled 6 events last year.
When you say table, do you mean you were at 6 events?
We were at 6 events and tabled and did activities or gave away things or just participated in community events. We created the 300th ad hoc committee last April. So we did that as well. We also we were approved for our checking account, special checking account. And we have now a treasurer on our committee. So that's a new position on Parks and Rec because of the checking account. We have our new logo last year, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, as well as an email for Parks and Rec for people to get a hold of us. We participated or headed up the Mako Park groundbreaking ceremony, which actually went very well in conjunction with Jansen's. We had the dignitaries go for both, for 2 for 1. It was a great day, and it was a beautiful day outside. We also have been participating in the Max 4th Fridays. Now it will be 4 Saturdays, and we'll continue to do that, to be weaved in with the community. Our initiative as Parks and Recreation is to be more about our community and bringing us all together through events and also our park events once we get there. And we are going to have some of those this year. We also participated in the tree lighting ceremony at, was that small business? Locust Street Park. Thank you. Thank you. Locust Street Park. And our little name was on the banner. That was exciting. We also made it into Small Business Saturday pamphlet. Our logo was in there, and John will tell you about 300. We also, for the town square, we're going on our 3rd year with Create Columbia and the Columbia Park Rangers helping us with that town square. They're doing a wonderful job. They'll come back to us. They're on our agenda for this month's meeting to ask permission, and then we'll recommend that, hey, do you guys think it's okay to do another year of that? They pay for any of the plants that go in there, the watering. The only thing we did last year that cost us anything at the town square was that we did some tree trimming because PP&L we had a tree that was growing into the power lines and they needed to be cut back. So we had an arborist take care of that for us. Now we have an arborist on our committee, so that's even better yet. Yay for us. I think that's all I have for everything. Oh, we have a sundial consideration. They'll do a presentation here probably closer to April. And the piano in the park will go in and hopefully we'll dedicate in April during maybe Arbor Day, Green Day down there at the park. Does anybody have any questions?
Sounds like you got a lot done.
I think so too. Very productive last year.
Thank
Michelle,
you, Michelle.
when does first Saturdays begin as of January?
It's already started.
So-
Yep, yep. You can look forward to those. And they have an event page that for 4 Saturdays, so you know what's going on.
Is that a better turnout than Fourth Fridays?
Don't
Yes.
know, because we did the first one, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? You
The
just,
next one, the one for
no, it's a fourth
Fourth
Saturday, but it-
Saturday.
fourth Saturday.
No,
Saturday.
no
No.
more Fourth Fridays.
No, and I don't know their time frame either. We
It's
just did
gonna
this
be
wine around Columbia.
The next one is the Chocolate Walk.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Good one.
that's from either 2 or 3 to 5 on the fourth
2 to
Saturday.
5.
2
to 5.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to introduce John Reitzel. He is the chair of our 300th committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Mrs. Kaufman.
Hi, John.
Hello there. You should have sat closer to the podium. That's all I have to say. So I'm not really sure what type of update you guys need from me, but what thought I would do is just talk about some of the events we have planned. If you have any questions, certainly take any of your questions. Okay. I've recently become the chairman, so this is kind of new to me, but we're good going here. We're having events every month for the 2026. We're going to have a speaker starting off February 19th at the Clock Museum. Elizabeth Dillon from the Wrights Ferry Mansion down here is going to talk about Columbia's first settlers. The following months are being scheduled right now. We don't have a full schedule, and as soon as we get that, we're going to start communicating that to people, but hoping they might be pretty popular. Our real focus for the events are going to start July 4th. First thing is going to be a fireman's parade, the Lancaster County Firemen's Convention and parade. And then after that, they're going to have a family community event out at Gladfelders. So that should be pretty fun. On June 19th, which is Juneteenth, obviously, Lions Club has their music in the park, but we're also going to have kind of our kickoff ceremony, our opening day ceremony. We're going to have the Scouts present a flag, and the Old Public Grounds is also their 200th anniversary for the Old Public Grounds, so they're going to have a speaker there. Underground Railroad, some of the dignitaries, Brett Miller's for sure, and some guy named Leo Lutz is going to be there. He'll probably take a half hour. He'll probably take half the show up. But a couple stories from Leo, right? By the way, he was the mayor in 1726 too. So. Sorry, Leo. The following day is a big event in Columbia. We're going to collaborate with the Lions Club for their Thunder on the River car show, which they've already got 240 spaces sold already. They just opened it up. That's going to be sold out before you know it here. But there's going to be 520 cars down here on Main Street. So it's a good opportunity for the downtown to get some stuff going there. There's going to be a children's festival June 24th in Sadie Lane, right out here. Should be a pretty fun event. Get the children involved in the 300th anniversary. And then Riverfest, the annual Riverfest is June 26th to the 28th. Susquehanna National Heritage is coordinating that, but we're hoping to on the 28th when they do the burning of the bridge, they're going to light all the piers this year, is my understanding. So we're going to try to maybe get a band down there and have some fun activities down there on the Columbia side, because it's normally held at John Wright. We want to try to have some things over here on the Columbia side to promote the Columbia 300th anniversary too. So we're still working on all those details. We're having a tea with Susanna Wright up at Mount Bethel on June 27th. And then the big closing ceremonies are going to be the July 4th celebration out at Gladfelders Field. Parks and Rec is going to manage the things, but we have fireworks confirmed. We've got a pretty good local band, Popscotch, penciled in to be the band. Food trucks and other activities. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here. We've had a great support from the community so far. Our fundraisers, our calendars, Susquehanna Glass merchandise has been very, very, very popular. So we're pretty close. We've got a budget meeting this Thursday, but we're pretty close to being hit our budget, what we need to get there already. So I think I've got no doubt we're going to get there.
That's great.
Yeah. Any questions?
You mentioned National Night Out.
I did not. That's in August, isn't it? You're trying to put more stuff on my plate, aren't you? Yeah. put more stuff on my plate. Thanks, Leo. Yeah, that's certainly something at an event. We'll collaborate with them for sure. That's a great idea. We should collaborate with them and have a stand out there for sure, and somehow promote the Columbia 300. And I think as this gets closer and events like that come up, I think there's going to be people that want to collaborate with us, and we'll certainly try to get there. Right now, we're just trying to focus on, we have only 8 people in our committee, so we're trying to do what we can. But the Masons are willing to help out, and we have other organizations that have been willing to help us out here. So I think a lot of people are going to jump on board here and get this thing to be pretty exciting for the town here. 300 years, I mean, it's pretty exciting. We should do something pretty special for it. So
I had somebody reach out and ask if they wanted to, if their business wanted to have an event that would be able to work with the 300th. Are you the best person to reach out to for contact on that?
Michelle Kaufman? No. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Anyone on the 300th committee can certainly help them out. But yeah, absolutely, have them contact me. I'd be happy to work with whoever wants to do that. Sure, absolutely. Thanks. Any other questions for anyone? Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. So we about the communications. We did develop a Facebook page for the 300th. We've got, as of I just checked, 1,300 followers already on the Facebook page. So that's pretty exciting. So a lot of people. Mark Stewart is putting out every day. He's putting out on this day in history, and that seems to be really generating some stuff. Some guy named John Wrights was posting some pictures on there once in a while. It seems
He's
to be
amazing.
Kind of maybe get some
Who
stuff.
is he?
I don't
What
know
a
who he
sham.
is.
I'm telling you.
He's a shameless guy. He's shameless. That's for sure. We also have a press release that we gave to the LMP. Mark Stewart wrote up a real nice press release. They're going to wait till closer to the event to kind of put that out. But then we also, WGAL does an In Focus on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock. And Michelle and I and Mark went down there and were interviewed for an In Focus segment. It's going to be aired March 1st at 11 o'clock. So I'll try to get some more publicity about this.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
To get your Facebook page, is it listed under the 300 or?
Which is Columbia PA 300.
Okay, thank you.
Just look for Columbia PA 300 and follow. If you follow it, then you'll get all the updates every day. All right. But yeah, it seems to be a really good way to spread the word.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you for your time.
Thanks, John.
All righty. Borough Council comments. Let's start with people on this side.
I don't have any this time.
All right.
I have
I
several
talked a lot.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask, and somebody mentioned it earlier, as far as getting, when the water company or PennDOT or anybody has any kind of an issue, do we send out an email or a text?
If we're made aware of it, we try to, yes.
Okay,
I'm not gonna say it happens all the time. Sometimes the gas company just goes in and does what they have to do.
and they don't call.
Other
Yeah.
times, well, I mean, they may be notified. Jake may be notified, but Jake may be out on the road too. And not have-
Right.
Doesn't
So-
get back to the office.
Right, but we try to notify either through text.my.gov or through the police department's crime watch.
Okay, but we don't really have a specific routine, policy to go by or anything like that.
Not right now, we don't.
All right, can we
It's
work?
hard because you're relying on them to feed you the information. and
Yeah.
It's not so good.
Well, I was wondering if I could go to the water company and talk to PPL and
I would
everybody.
think that'd be more on the communication
Keith
side of
and
things.
Tom.
Okay,
But I don't know if I want to reach out to anybody until we have a policy and
Yeah.
the managers
okay,
agree on it.
all right.
Yeah.
But yes, I
That-
would
that
like to.
really should be something that staff does.
Yeah.
It's not really in our purview.
But yeah,
Okay.
I would like to get, what you're saying is, once we do have some policy and stuff in place, I would like to be able to work with them and say, hey, can you please notify us so we can notify residents
Right.
through our service?
I also wanted to ask if people who are coming in with new business, like getting exceptions or variances or need to have a document signed, at the end of the meeting. Like the last meeting we had, we broke in the middle and went out to work on the contract. And then we came back and we had all these people waiting that could have been released earlier.
Right.
And they were just sitting there and all they had to do was come up and say, hi, I'm this is what I need. And Paula had the paperwork already. Is it possible when we have things like that, that we can move them up earlier in the meeting so that they don't have to wait all night to be heard or sign their paper?
Paul and I talked about that already. There will be some instances where we can do that, but there's gonna be some that we just can't.
Okay.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times with recognitions like that, we try to. Sometimes just the way the agenda falls. Hopefully this new format though, will speed up those meetings where
Okay.
they're not waiting as long.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Let me see. I wanted to mention the Dream Center is going to do purse bingo on April 14th for community development. They're going to start at 11:30 at the New Danville KFC, and they're looking for sponsors. And they're just starting to put that out now.
Why are they doing a purse bingo at KFC?
Because that was the place they could get that was big enough to house it and have all the stuff there.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
KFC.
Oh, my goodness.
I just-
Honest to God, I thought you said KFC.
She did say KFC.
They do a purse
No.
bingo at KFC.
Heather, she did say KFC.
I was gonna make arrangements to go.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Chicken and bingo?
I was like,
That sounds
Can't go
great.
wrong.
Chicken bingo.
Okay, so one more time, what was the location?
The New Danville KFC, Knights of Columbus.
Thank you.
KFC. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And if you need tickets, you can just hop into the Dream Center and they will be happy to sell them to you.
All right.
Or call Jen Hollister. And I wanted to ask, we got that funding resolution, resolution for PSAB that they were asking for resolutions. Is that anything that we are doing or supposed to be doing? I got that sent to me by Jack and I wondered what it was.
oh, Jack forwards those emails, but we all should get them anyway because we're signed up on PSAB. But every year, PSAB has a resolution process that happens at their at the conference. If you have local resolutions that you would like PSAB to take a statewide stance on and lobby the General Assembly on, if you pass a resolution at your local level and forward it to them, it goes to the Policy and Resolutions Committee at the conference, which then votes on advancing those initiatives to the full body. And then on the last day of the conference, the full body votes to see if PSAB should take that on as a lobby item. So if we had anything, we would forward it, but I don't believe we've had any, so.
Okay, I just wanted to ask
Nothing,
about that.
no,
'Cause I got it.
yeah, the last one that we did was calling on them to the civil service resolution.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I just wanted to ask about parking passes, Paula.
What about it?
Do you have them?
Yes,
So we should see you?
yes.
I think they're in your mailbox.
Oh, are they? Okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't see them in
All
there, were
right,
they?
thank
Do you
you.
check your mailbox out here?
I do usually when I get here.
Were they in
Bless
there?
you.
They're-
Bless
what's
you.
that?
Are they in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got 4 of them now, don't you?
You jealous?
All right, that was
Thank you.
all I had to say.
Heather?
Ask.
Nothing.
Thank you
Joanne.
very much.
Kelly?
Good meeting.
Thank
We'll
you.
get better, but it's good.
Yeah.
Nice start.
I am sensing the urgency to get the Guinness property advertised. But what I didn't understand is, are we waiting to set those dates in a vote, or do we have something we can work with?
We will have the RFP on the
Well,
Tuesday's agenda.
Yeah, I mean, the dates that we decided on before were releasing it March 30th and, hold on, I'll open it right up.
I think the thing was, at that first meeting, we had said we were going to vote on it at the next one.
Bids and proposals due May 15th.
So we can go with that.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Um,
I believe the consensus is everybody agree with the RFP. We just
Yeah,
gotta make
I
sure the
just-
language is legal.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, we just wanted to get it done right the first time, so
Right.
we didn't have to
Yep.
go back. We do have a meeting with Lifeline representatives, I think, later next
The
week.
11th.
The 11th, so that is on our agenda as well. So if there's any input you guys want to provide, we'd certainly accept that. And lastly, on a personal note, I'd just like to echo the mayor's sentiment. Jack Brommer Sr. was a true son of Columbia, and his loss will be felt for a long time. So my condolences to the Brommer family.
Thank you. One comment. The borough office and the police office will be closing at 12 p.m. on Fridays moving forward. So on Fridays now, we're closing the offices at 12 o'clock.
Should put that on our website.
And the office is closed on President's Day, the 16th, which we'll get to next week. Announcement of next meetings at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, February 10th. Council will hold a regular scheduled meeting. Do I have a motion for an adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Councilman Geezy, second by Councilman Cooper. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
Joanne was so quick to be like, yes.
Meeting's adjourned.
Always want to get
Adjourn.